Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called San Juan. San Juan is a game published by Rio Grande Games from designer Andreas Seyfarth. I probably pronounced your name incorrectly, I apologize. Plays 2 to 4 players, 45 to 60 minutes. And effectively what this game is it's the card game version of Puerto Rico, which I have not played. But I do like multi-use cards, and I got this in a trade because I heard good things. So I played it. And, spoiler, I like what I played. But I'm not going to talk about what the theme is. There's some kind of theme, probably colonialism. I don't know. Basically, you're using cards to build buildings, and you're going to be paying for the cost of the cards with other cards in your hands. Kind of like Race for the Galaxy and that kind of deal. But I believe this one did it first. But let's go down to the table. Let's see how all that shakes out. All right, so here's a game of San Juan, first edition. I know there are 2 different editions. This is not the newest one. This is the very first one. All set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to give each player an indigo plant, which we've done, and then each player is going to draw 4 cards from the deck, and someone's going to randomly be assigned the governor, which I've done here, and then you're going to put all the rest of the roll cards out here. Trading tiles can just be off to the side, and then the rest of the deck of the cards right here, ready to go. All right, so let's talk about how you play the game. The way this game works is the governor is first going to do all these things to make sure we're adhering to hand limits. If anybody has a chapel, they remember to do that. Then we're going to start the round. There's no chapel yet. We don't have a hand. Our hand limit has not been exceeded. The hand limit is 7 unless you have a special card that you have built. So we'll just begin the round. So to begin the round, what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these rolls. The active player, so say we take this one. That's not a good one. So say I take this one. The active player gets to do this plus the privilege. So whoever selects this action gets to do the basic action plus the privilege. Every other player gets to do the action. So let's see. Let's look at my hand of cards. See what we have here. There is a rule. You can build any of these cards that you want on a turn when you take the building action, but you can only have 1 copy of each of the purple cards. You can have as many other production buildings that you want, but any of the violet cards, you can only have 1. So let's see what I want to do here. These cards are expensive. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build. So everybody else gets to build, but I get a build for 1 card less. And I'm going to build this indigo plant. So now I have 2 indigo plants. It costs me 1 card, but I can pay for 1 less, so I get to do it for free. And that is my turn. Now it's this player's turn. They get a build. Here's their cards. They can build whatever they want, but they have to pay the actual price. Let's do gold mine. So we'll do the gold mine. We'll put the purple cards up at the top until we run out of room. And that will cost them 1 card, and they will discard the tower. I'm going to discard face down because when you get rid of goods and stuff, you're supposed to go face down. So I just like to put everything face down pile. And that is the turn. Let's not put that there. It gets confusing. All right. So then it is this player's turn to select a roll. And what they want to do is, I think they're just going to prospect because this uses their gold mine. So they prospect. No bonus, no special, no action. So this player doesn't get to do anything, but this player gets to draw a card. They got another indigo plant. And then they get to do the action of this, the prospector phase. You reveal 4 cards. As long as all 4 of the numbers are different, you can take a card into your hand. But they're not. There's 2 3s. So all these just get discarded. Put the discards over here so they don't get confusing. And that's that. Now, in a 2-player game, it comes back to the governor, and they get to take another turn. So we really, it's like functions like a 3-player game, sort of. And I think they're going to produce. So I'm going to produce. The way that production works is you get to take a card at the top of the deck and put it in any of your production plants. But the person who selects it gets to produce 2. So I will put 1 there and 1 there. And you just put it right there. You don't look at the card. Now I know that that building has produced. And now this player can produce 1 as well. And that is the round. The tiles go back. You normally take them, but I'm just sliding them down. Governor will pass. And then we will keep playing. So, we'll check. No chapel. Does anybody reach the hand size? They have 3. I have 3. We're good to go. Now we'll go ahead and go. So this player gets to take a turn. Let's see the cards that they have. Do they want to build another building? I think they're going to prospect again. So they get to draw a card. And I'll explain why I did that later. So I have 4 cards here. And then we get a prospect, do the 4 flipping cards thing. And we have 2 1s, so we do not get a free card. All right. Then this player's turn. I am going to trade, I think. Yeah, I'm going to trade. So we're going to take the trader action. Normally, the action is each player can sell 1 good. If you take the tile, the privilege is you get to sell 2. So I'm going to get to sell 2. But first thing we do is we flip this tile here. That's going to determine how much we're going to sell our goods for. So indigo plants are going to sell for 1 good. I think that's sugar, tobacco, coffee, and silver. And what that means is you're going to get rid of the cards. You're going to sell your cards from your plants, and you're going to draw that many cards. So I get to draw 2 cards because I sold from 2 indigo plants. They can sell 1, and they sold from an indigo plant, so they now have one more card. This flips over and goes face down on the bottom. They don't get shuffled, so the order of these tiles will stay out exactly as they are. So if you can kind of remember what you've seen and what you haven't, you'll know what's going on. Then the governor gets to go again, and they are, I think they need to build, get some buildings. And yeah, they're going to do that. So they're going to build the coffee roaster. That costs them 1 less, so they'll spend this and this and this. So 3. It would normally cost 4, but they get the discount. So now they have a coffee roaster. And this player gets to build with no discount, and they will... They have to build a coffee roaster as well. That's all they can afford. So they're discounting these 4 cards. All right. And that is that round. This slides up. Governor passes. Check hand limit. They only have 1 card. I have no cards. So then we go. All right. So let's see. Well, I'm going to produce for sure. So that will give me, I can put it on any 2 buildings. So that one and one of these. Then they get to produce 1. So they will produce their coffee. All right. Then it's their turn. They only have 1 building, which is a quarry. So let's do the counselor so we can explain how that one works. All right. So they're going to do the counselor. The way the counselor works is, as a basic action, every player gets to draw 2 cards and keep 1. If you're the one that takes the tile, you get to draw 5 cards and keep 1, unless you have other cards that say things. So they'll draw 5 cards. So they drew these cards. Chapel. Ooh, they want the chapel. So they're going to keep the chapel. Then these cards will go away. And then this player will draw 2, keep 1, and I think I'm going to take the silver smelter, and that one will go away. And then it's back to this player, and I think I'm going to sell some goods to try to get some cards. So we're going to flip a tile. Indigo always produces at 1, but the coffee will produce at 2, so I'm going to get 3 cards. Okay. And then this player can sell as well. They'll sell this one. Coffee produces 2 cards. All right, and then that goes back to the bottom like that. And that's the end of that round. Governor passes. We'll check chapel. There's no chapel. Hand limit, they have 4. I have 4. We'll play one more round. All right, so what do they want to do? What do they want to do here? Let's get the chapel out because I want to show you that. So they want to build. And they're going to build the chapel. It cost them 3 cards, but because they took the action, they get a discount. So they'll use this one and this one. So 2 cards. Now they have the chapel. And we'll go over that when the governor phase happens. Now I can build. And I think... Yeah, I'll do this. I'll build the well. Cost me 2 cards, so I'll get rid of the tower and the palace. And whenever I produce, I can get take 1 card from the supply when I produce at least 2 goods, which is awesome. All right, then it's going to come to me, and I'm going to produce. So let's produce. So I get to produce 2 because I take the action. So I'll produce coffee and some indigo, When I produce, I can take an extra card into my hand because I produce 2 cards. Now they get to produce 1 because they don't have any special production phase. Nope. Done. Now it's back to them. They get to take a turn, and they want to, they're going to prospect. So they'll prospect. They get to draw a free card. They got a city hall. And then they're going to flip 4 cards for their gold mine to see if they get any bonus cards. Nope, 2 5s, so no bonus cards. If you flip all different numbers, you get to take one of the cards into your hand, which is pretty awesome. All right, so that is the end of that round. Governor passes over here. Now we will look at hand size. I have 2, they have 2, but we have a chapel. So the way the chapel works is, on your turn, when the governor phase happens, this player can take one of these cards from their hand and put it under the chapel. Every card under the chapel is worth a point. Yeah, let's do it. So I'll put this quarry under there. Now I have an extra point. And that is that. And that's how the game's going to keep playing until someone has built 12 buildings in front of them. And then the game will immediately end. You won't finish the round. Then you have this handy dandy score sheet, and you will add up all the points. So you're going to score all your buildings. The points are down here. 1 victory point, 1 victory point. Any goods you have left over can just go away. You will score the chapel. So all the cards under the chapel will score a point. Any 6 buildings that you have. So for example, I think this player had 1. The city hall, you'll score points based on how that scores. And then you'll get a subtotal. And then if you have the palace, which is, I believe I discarded that. Let me see. I thought I did. Yeah. If you have the palace, you'll take your total and you'll divide it by 4, and you get some bonus points, which is pretty cool. Then whoever has the most points is the winner. And that is how you play San Juan. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was San Juan. So this game, like I said at the top, is really good. The multi-use cards are fantastic. Not really multi-use cards. It's just you're using a card in one of, I guess you're using cards in different ways, but it's not like each card has like different sections of the card where if you play it a certain way, it does one thing. You're either using a card for a building, or you're going to be spending it to build the building. You're going to be using it as a resource. You may put it under one of the cards for a pile of points. Just a little card game. I love the action selection mechanism with these tiles. So like, you know, if I take the builder action, everyone gets to do that action, but I get a little bit better of an action because I selected it, which is really cool. The prospector, I like the prospector because only I get to do the action, unless you have a gold mine, and then everybody gets to do the gold mine action, but I get to draw a card and you don't get to draw a card because I took this, which is pretty neat. Produce goods. If I pick it, I get to produce 2 goods, but everybody else gets to produce 1 good, which is pretty cool. Plus any bonus cards you have in front of you and all that. That goes without saying. Counselor, draw 2 cards, keep 1 for everybody. But if I pick this, I get to draw 5 cards and keep 1, which is amazing. Trading, sell goods. Everybody can sell 1 good. If I pick this, I can sell 2 goods. Amazing. So just a little bit of an extra bonus for picking the tile. Not like game-breaking extra bonus, but a nice little treat for me taking my turn to take that action, which is pretty nice. I like that. Yeah, it's great. I like the art. It's boring and bland, but the cards are really straightforward. It's got a number at the top of what they do. If they're not purple, you know that they're some kind of production building. Gives you points down at the bottom. Tells you what it does. I love all that. Purple buildings, you're clearly purple, unless you can't see that, but you're going to know if it's not indigo, sugar, coffee, tobacco, or silver, that everything else is a purple building, which is pretty nice. Yeah, the art's effective. It doesn't need to be great because it's just a card game. You need to know the information which it gives you, which I appreciate. So yeah, this game is great. I have no issues with it at all. I can't wait to play it more with more than 2 players because I feel like it's going to really get crazy then, and I want to see how the craziness goes. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is San Juan from Rio Grande Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.